It's that time of year again, and you know what that means. It's time to talk about the Griswolds. Hey there, my name is Caleb, and I love diving just a little bit deeper into our favorite TV shows and movies. If you can relate, drop down a comment and let me know what is your favorite Christmas movie. The whole month of December, I'm going to be just going through some of my favorite Christmas classics, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, A Christmas Story, things like that, and I'm going to be reviewing them for you guys, letting you know what I think of them. Obviously, these are movies that I've already seen before. I just thought it would be kind of like a fun idea. Plus, you guys can kind of get like a fresh perspective on what I think of these movies, because I've only ever talked about them on my letterbox before. So, real quick, before we dive in, if you are new here, consider hitting that subscribe button, letting me know that you enjoy the content that I put out here. And if you want to stay up to date for all of my Christmas reviews and Christmas related videos, definitely make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. And without further ado, let's talk about Christmas Vacation. So I think we're all pretty familiar with the story of Christmas Vacation, but just in case you're not, it goes something like this. Clark Griswold and his family are determined to have the best Christmas ever. The movie basically surrounds itself by choosing each individual moment, trying to have the perfect Christmas, from having family over, to having the perfect Christmas dinner, to getting great gifts, and to just all these different Christmas themed associated things. They don't always pan out the best way that Clark and his family are hoping for. And that's just the basic premise here, is to, you know, not kind of lose the Christmas spirit when things get rough around the holidays. Let's dive into some specifics. And I think my favorite thing about this movie is just the fact of it feels classic. I mean, this movie came out in 1989, which to a lot of newer generation people, oh, you know, that's a tad old, you know? But to me, it just ages like fine wine. It has that classic feeling, but also still relatable in the same sense. And you have all these, you know, classic cliches like annoying family members and Christmas decorations that don't quite go the right way, and dealing with work during the Christmas time, and all of these things, right? But you also have that still, like, original feel. Even just the way that this is shot, you have snow everywhere. You know, this takes place in Chicago, one of the best, like, known areas for Christmas. And with all of these things mixed around, you just feel the total and original presence of Christmas, and it's exactly what you think about when you hear the word Christmas. One point I do really want to bring up about this movie, a few years ago, I didn't even know this, I've been watching Christmas Vacation since I was very little, but I didn't realize until a few years ago, the actor that plays Russ in this movie, his name is Johnny Galecki, and he is actually the guy who plays Leonard Hofstadter in The Big Bang Theory. And that just kind of like, once you see it, you can't unsee it, because he definitely has the resemblance as a kid. But I just thought that was pretty interesting. One of the things that makes this movie really special for me is the fact of, like, every year I watch it with my dad. And being that my dad is part of the older generation and I'm somewhat in the new generation, it's fun that we can find a movie that we both really love. And this is probably easily our favorite movie, you know, to watch together, because it blends really good comedy with really good just family moral kind of values, and it's a Christmas movie. It's very much a Christmas movie, and it's just ridiculous, and just, it's a really good time. I want to name some funny moments and just talk about a few of them that really get me every year, because that's mostly what this movie is about, are all these sprinkled little funny moments that everyone just picks and, you know, throws out into a conversation at any point. So I want to talk about a few of them. Here's the first one.
I'm nervous because Christmas is almost here.
Nervous or excited?
Shitting bricks.
You shouldn't use that word.
Sorry. Shitting rocks.
No, this scene just gets me every time, and this scene also goes beyond Christmas. Like, I'll have friends walk up to me and say this when it's like the middle of summer. So it just goes to show you how great this scene is. This little girl, and just the cluelessness that she has on her face is priceless. Probably my favorite quote in this movie is when Clark and the family get home that night with their Christmas tree. Their little snotty neighbors go,
"Hey, Griswold, where do you think you're gonna put a tree that big?" Bend over and I'll show you. You've got a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Griswold.
I wasn't talking to you.
Every year, multiple times, especially around the holidays, I quote this, and I just think it is the funniest line in the movie. It comes from absolutely nowhere, and then even redirects your attention to the girl, and I just think it's one of the best. For me and my dad, one of my favorite parts of this movie is Cousin Eddie. And when he enters the picture, I just lose all sanity in this movie. There's a moment when you find out that he can't afford gifts for his kids for Christmas. And Clark basically tells him this.
Ellen and I want to help you give the kids a nice Christmas.
Eddie gives him the list and, he cooperates. But then he adds a little in something extra at the end and he says, hey, Clark.
And if it wouldn't be too much, I'd like to get something for you, Clark. Something really nice.
As if it wasn't already Clark's money, Clark is getting himself a gift from Eddie. I don't really know how that works. One of my other favorite moments is when they're at dinner and, he tells the kids about that, how an airline pilot spotted Santa Claus. And Eddie, he leans over to Clark and he says,
I heard on the news that an airline pilot spotted Santa's sled on its way in from New York.
You serious, Clark?
Clark just gives him the funniest look. He's like, of course. Oh man, it gets me every year. Another one of my other favorites is when, they ask the older lady and she, ask her to say the blessing. And, she's not very, with it at this time of year or ever at this point. And she just recites the Pledge of Allegiance. And to make matters even worse, Eddie stands up and puts his hand over his heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. One nation indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And this is the point in the movie for me when I'm just like, you know what? All redemption that I thought maybe these people could have, it goes out the window. Finally, one of my other favorite dramatic moments in this movie is just when they put the lights on and they finally figure out what was causing the lights to happen. There is a specific shot that always gets me, and it's when he plugs them in for the first time. You have the electric thing on the side of the house. It just whines like it's like a toy or something. That's really funny to me. And then you also have some nuclear power plant like alarm going off, and they act as if he's set off some kind of world-ending device, when in fact it's just his Christmas lights. And that's just very over the top, but it's very in tune for this movie.
Honey, I think I know what's wrong.
But yeah, guys, overall, this is just a fun movie. Again, I watch this every year with my dad, and me and my dad just always have a good time with it. It's become kind of a tradition at this point. I think even when I'm older and I have my own kids and stuff, I'm gonna want to watch this with them because it's just such a timeless classic that I can't help myself. It's so done well, and it just really captures that true family message of Christmas. So yeah, guys, that is my review for Christmas Vacation. Drop a comment down below letting me know, what do you think of Christmas Vacation? I know this is kind of one in the very many pool of Christmas movies, and also vacation movies with Chevy Chase. I'm kind of a fan of all of those movies, but this one's definitely my favorite. But I'd love to know, what things do you remember about Christmas Vacation? Are there certain jokes that really hit with you and your family? I'd love to know all of that down in the comments below. And definitely stay tuned for more Christmas reviews and videos coming your way soon. Until next time, guys, peace.